welcome to today's Backpage Monday video. It's been a busy weekend of Scottish Cup 4th round action, and I'm pleased to say we're joined today by Record Sports' David McCarthy to look back at the major talking points. And David, I suppose they don't come much bigger than the result yesterday at Tynecastle.
No, I don't think anyone saw that coming, Fraser. I think that everyone expected, or most people expected, that Celtic would win the game, but to go and dole out a record defeat for Hearts was what it ended up being. As I say, nobody really saw that coming, but I have to say Celtic were absolutely terrific.
Having gone out of Europe just days beforehand, is this a frightening prospect now for the rest of Scottish football to see such a convincing victory?
Well, I think it maybe shows you where we're at. That Celtic have finished bottom of their Champions League section, and yet they can go out and dole out that kind of humiliation to another Premiership club, albeit in the Scottish Cup. I think it was a huge game for Celtic yesterday because really they're going to win the league at a canter. So had they lost that game yesterday, the rest of the season was pretty mundane for them. But at least they've still now got the double in their sights, and on yesterday's form they're going to take some beating.
On the flip side for Hearts, I mean they obviously had some good news last week in terms of the CVA, but in terms of where the season sits, does this result really matter?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter in the respect that the be-all and end-all for them this season is to try somehow to avoid relegation, which is going to be a massive ask for them. So in that respect, it didn't really matter that they've gone out of the Scottish Cup, but what did matter was the manner in which it happened. There's a lot of young boys in that team, and they were absolutely torn apart. It's going to be a huge job now for Gary Locke and Billy Brown to restore the morale there. They now go to Tannadice at the weekend, which against a team who are probably the informed team in the country at the minute. So again, you've got to kind of fear for Hearts, and this is the situation now coming home to roost. They can't bring in any players. They've got basically a youth team with a couple of experienced pros, and the hits just keep on coming for them. I kind of fear for them that their season might completely spin out of control now. Yeah,
well, we're moving to the last 16 of the competition.
Yep.
Last 16, that's right, isn't it?
It is.
Keep me right, David. The competition's opening up elsewhere. To put you in the spot, who do you fancy to go all the way? Maybe an Albion Rovers?
Do you know that's the story of the weekend? I know we've touched on the Celtic result, but Albion Rovers to beat Motherwell was just absolutely astonishing. That was boys' own stuff, and it doesn't happen often enough in Scottish football. It was just one of those games that they could probably play Motherwell 25 times and they would never get that result, but on the day they got it, and fair play to them. Who's going to win the Scottish Cup? That's a tough one. I think Celtic are hugely motivated to do it because the final will also be at Celtic Park. It's hard to see past them. Certainly if they play as they did on Sunday, it's hard to see past them.
Yeah. Just finally then, down south there was a bit of a surprise, sacking Owen Coyle, leaving his position at Wigan. Not so long ago he's been tipped as one of the new generation of top managers. Did that take you by surprise?
Totally. I think things have gone a bit daft down there. I think there was 3 managers lost their job in the Championship over the weekend, which is crazy. Owen didn't get off to a brilliant start at Wigan, but having said that, had they won their game in hand, which they've got over their main rivals, they would have been 3 points off a playoff place. It's not exactly a crisis. Don't really know what's happened there. I think one of our guys has already spoken to him this morning. He's not saying too much, although he is saying it's by mutual consent rather than him being sacked. But I don't know, it's a very, very strange one. That he is a good manager. I think he will come back from it, as Derek McInnes did, and has shown what he can do after a disappointing time down there. But it did come as a surprise, I must admit, when I heard that this morning.